Folks, grab your orange dreamsicle and fire the cannons as we head to
Woo
Tampa
woo.
Bay for this team breakdown. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Channel. Today we're talking about how the Bucs did last year, their fantasy football players, offensive line, and some coaching changes. Adam, how the heck are you?
I am doing wonderful. How are you doing over there?
I am doing wonderful. I wish I was physically in Tampa Bay right now.
It looks better than that Green Bay temperature you got over there
Little
with that
St.
Lambeau
Pete
Field.
Beach.
Ooh, yeah. Get some margaritas
Yeah,
blended about 9
yeah,
a.m. Get walking on
yeah,
that beach.
yeah. The blender's running.
Oh, yeah. We had that blender smoking by the time that week was over. Alrighty, folks. Today, Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers. Interesting team here. Some old players, some young players. Let's recap where they finished last year at 8-9, second in the NFC South to the Carolina Panthers. Well, how'd they do offensively? Not very good. Total offense 21st, 320 yards per game, a total of 41 touchdowns. Rushing rank 21st, 114 yards per game. Passing rank 20th, 205 yards per game. Kyle, Vegas win loss prediction is 8.5. Where are you going on that?
I've taken the over on all of the other teams in this division.
Someone can't do it. They can't
So
all
I'm
be over.
taking the under for Tampa Bay.
There we go. I like it. I
I'd put them
like
at eight. I'd probably put them at eight though.
I'm also taking the under on this one.
Oh wow.
There are some reasons for that we shall get into. Are you ready?
Let's do it. Let's talk about the fantasy football player
Oh, yeah.
quarterback, Mr. Baker Mayfield. Despite his down year last year, he still finished as quarterback 12. So the guy can sling it. He had some
Oh,
injuries, and it was a down year from him from his top five finish the previous year.
yep.
Um, ESPN's currently got him projected at quarterback 20 this year, and pretty similar statistics, honestly. Right around 3,700 yards he threw for last year. That's what he's projected this year. 25 touchdowns and another 300 yards with his legs and a rushing touchdown, right around 260 fantasy points.
Yep.
He's actually had three consecutive top 12 fantasy finishes. So, something for this guy, right? They're fading him a bit this year. I'm assuming that's the Mike Evans effect. And for me, I'll give you my take. For me, remember this was a year post Liam Cohen as well. I think we
Mm-hmm.
know how the coordinator position matters.
Mm-hmm.
And now losing Mr. Mike Evans, I am also probably fading him closer to in line with ESPN. I have him outside
Oh, okay.
the top 12 for sure. Outside.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
We're how far outside?
far outside.
Oh, okay. Okay. I know you were down on him last year. All right. All right.
And for a good reason where he was being drafted. Um,
Yeah.
Basically one quarterback leagues. I'm 100% out on him. A super flex two quarterback, fine. He's fine if he's on my team. How's that? Your take.
All right, I will give you credit. Last year, you sold on Baker Mayfield, and you sold at a good time. He was going with top 10 QBs, and he, in fact, left the oven on from the 2024 season because he did not bake in the 2025
Yeah.
season. And although he finished as a top 12 QB in total points, he only was quarterback 19 in points per game, and that is effing terrible. Let me give him a couple quick excuses before I roast him further. He had starting wide receivers, engines. Evans was injured.
Old
Godwin
man
was injured.
shoulder.
Two offensive linemen were injured. Bucky was injured. So essentially, the entire starting superstardom of that team last year on the offense was injured. He does have that excuse, however, with no more Mike Evans. And until I see him prove it with this young rookie wide receiver cast, minus the old timer and Chris Godwin, I am also selling on where this is projected. Well, I guess projected at 20, I'm not selling. I'm fine. I'm taking him at 20, but definitely no more top 12 like he's done the last couple of years.
Okay. So you're in line then, one quarterback league. We're just out on him. There'll be other guys available we'd much
Yep.
rather have.
Yep.
You can leave them on your free agency. Two quarterbacks, super flex, fine. If you want to take a shot on them, fine.
Fine. Just fine.
Fine.
It's
You
all
know
just
he can
fine.
finish in the top 10, but can he do it without Mike Evans? I think the answer is no. Maybe if they had some other elite receivers, but I'm sorry, Chris Godwin, you are not an elite NFL wide receiver in 2026.
No, I don't know. I mean, it's been 5 years since he ever was. The quarterbacks going after Baker Mayfield, Kyle, are Malik Willis, Jordan
Yep.
Love, Cam
Yep.
Ward, C.J. Stroud, Sam Darnold. Which are you
For
taking in
sure the
front of
first
him?
two. For sure the
Malik
first two.
Willis and Jordan
Yep.
Love, go
Yep.
Pack, go. I would
Yep.
agree with you there. Cam Ward, that's a tough one.
That's
Cam
a
Ward
tough one for me.
He's got some weapons this year though, and
He
getting
does.
out of that. That is it. C.J. Stroud, Sam Darnold, no and no. Okay, so I will cap it off. I'll say I take Malik, Love, and Cam Ward in front of him probably.
Yeah, I'm
Cam
fine
Ward just because he's got new weapons. He had no weapons last year. Now he's got a bunch.
Yep.
All right, Baker, we are selling you hard. Preheat that oven, buddy. You got some work to do this
puts
year.
you around 22 for us in our rankings. Just ballparking.
Yep, that's correct. That is correct.
Okay. Divas, no more Mike Evans. So long. Thank you, sir. Your wonderful time in Tampa Bay.
Is he a 49er?
Hall of Famer? He'll be a Hall of Famer for sure. He did go to the 49ers.
Ooh, I like that for the 49ers.
Yep. But we don't like it for Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin is stepping in as the depth chart wide receiver 1.
He will not be the receiver 1, but
I will share that. He is currently being projected as wide receiver 35. Egbuka is projected at Diva 24. Godwin finished as wide receiver 78 last year, battled injuries again, missed a good chunk of the season, and basically had 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. They're projecting him for 800 yards and 5 touchdowns. And I'm selling it again. I sold it last year. I'm selling it this year. He can't be counted on at this stage in the game, so he can prove me wrong.
Yeah, I think you're on the money with that. Too old, not going to be the number 1 guy, not going to be there the whole season. If you want some depth piece at PPR and you got crappy receivers, you need one, sure, fair enough. That's the only argument to be had. However, I would
honestly rather draft Jalen McMillan, just in the chance there's more upside in a breakout from him.
I am okay with that. You are really
obviously, Emeka Egbuka is the receiver here I am most excited about. Yeah. Arguably the most exciting fantasy player on this team as well. His rookie campaign, he had 127 targets, 63 grabs, 938 yards, 6 touchdowns. He started out on fire, and then the team kind of fell apart a little bit.
It didn't fall apart a little bit. It tumbled down the hill like a freaking avalanche.
Yeah.
I mean, Emeka Egbuka had one of the strongest starts to a rookie wide receiver campaign we've ever seen. He had 5 tutties in his first 5 weeks and averaged 20 points a game in his first 5 weeks. And then, as you said, wide receivers went down, linemen went down, bucket went down. I mean, it just fell off a freaking cliff. He is projected as Diva number 24, like you said. And this, my friends, my family, my fantasy people, is a value alert. This guy could easily finish as a top 12 wide receiver. He will be the number 1 guy on this team. We know Baker has the ability to chuck and bake. Will he do it? I don't know, but I believe in this cat. And this is a steal of a value at 24 projection.
I mean, I like him saying he could finish inside the top 20.
Steal. He could. You don't think he can finish in the top 12?
There's no way he's in the top 12. No way.
Did you watch how athletic and good this guy is?
Yeah, well, you got a coordinator question mark. You got a quarterback question mark. You got some offensive line things, head coaching things. I don't see
Kyle says there's no chance. By season's end, Egbuka was set in the top 10 in targets and air yards last year. So the opportunity is there. He, however, did have a horrific catch rate.
That's where it was bad.
49%. Oh, that's not good. That's so bad, which is 34th among fantasy wide receivers in PPR. But nonetheless, the opportunity is only going to be more. The targets are only going to be more, in my opinion.
I agree.
So therefore, top 12 is possible. He needs to catch the freaking ball, and Baker's got to get it in his hands.
I mean, this is another candidate you could say he could have 150 targets this year. No Mike Evans, Chris Godwin in the lineup, who's not going to be in the lineup for long probably. So you got some other young guys underneath him that could step up. Jalen McMillan would be first on my list. But this is a 150-yard tag candidate right here.
Yeah, this blows my mind. And ESPN saying he could be a wide receiver 3 with upside. What did they not watch last year? I mean, again, discredit the woes of the Buccaneers. That he could be a wide receiver 1 on a team if he gets all these targets and if he starts catching the ball and him and Baker get on the same page. So value here for me for sure.
Yeah. Okay. And then I think there's value there as well. Yep. Jalen McMillan third on the depth chart.
McMillan.
He had a lot of injuries last year. Only had 30 fantasy points. They are projecting him for almost 50 grabs, almost 600 yards, and 4 touchdowns for a total of about 130 fantasy points on the season. And I think deeper leagues, I think this is where some upside could be, especially if you see CJ or Chris Godwin leave, injury, not playing well, whatever, early in the season. McMillan has a chance to break out here and carve out some offense. And
Yep.
then next up, Ted Hurst and Tez Johnson. Those are the other two guys that really right now they're not really fantasy relevant on any format, but they're watchers. They could be, right?
Tez Johnson can absolutely be fantasy relevant this year. That is a slot receiver that has some serious speed, great hands. He is on my dynasty team as you feel my excitement increase here. Tez Johnson could be the number 2 or for sure the number 3 wide receiver on this team.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think either of these guys are deeper receivers to watch to step up. Is kind of is how I would look at them.
I mean,
but most of the time they're going to be free agents in fantasy football.
Week 4, Chris Godwin's going to sprain his ankle. He'll be out for 6 weeks. So then we're going to be looking at McMillian and Tez Johnson to step up, and one of those guys will.
Yeah, and I think there's a chance. It's a high probability chance that could happen, but it's almost the same. I would just leave him out there and then monitor the situation, assuming how desperate in need of receivers you are, how deep it is, etc.
All right.
But like you wouldn't have them handcuffed for that waiting to happen, would you?
I mean, no, but I mean, if it's your depth piece, last receiver on the team or something like that because you like them, sure, but no, I guess not.
I mean, that's how I feel about Jalen McMillan, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. But most of these guys will probably be available.
Yep. All right. We're talking about my guy. We are moving on to
your guy.
This is my guy. All right. Why? Because I'm a dynasty owner. Or some shit. No. Bucky Irving, it's time to bounce back. My brother, you are only 24 years old. Last year, you were injured with a shoulder, an ankle, no offensive lineman. Everything was looking dark. It is a bounce back year for you. You are projected at running back 20. Did they forget about your campaign 2 years ago? Because I did not. I am also saying Bucky Irving, top 12 running back this year. He is bouncing back. He will be fully healthy. This offensive line is amazing. Mike Clay's got him ranked 6th, and they got to stay healthy as well. There's only one asterisk to what I'm saying here, and that is the emergence of Ken Gainwell as his backup, who may bleed in and take some carries, but I think Bucky Irving is a much better running back, and he's going to prove that this year.
Okay. I think top 12 is too much for me. But I think at 20, there could be some value here if you believe in the player. And he's kind of like a high upside pick at 20 if you're going to gamble a little bit, is how I look at him. His floor last year, he had 173 carries, 588 yards, and he was very poor efficiency, 3.4 yards a clip. Only scored once on the ground. He did have another 30 grabs, 277 yards receiving, and 3 touchdowns. So a huge slide in his average, right?
A huge slide because he was injured from weeks 2 through 12, didn't have linemen. The whole offense was riddled. But yeah, 2 years ago, 5.4 yards per carry. This last year, it dropped 2 yards per carry. That ain't Bucky forgetting how to run the football. That's injuries. That's O-line. That's everything. He's going to bounce back this year as long as that O-line stays healthy. Oh, and another comment here. Their offensive line last year, Kyle, had 9 different starting combinations. Every other week, there's a new offensive line going out there in a different order. That you can't win off that. You can't run off that. So they're going to get that stuff figured out.
Okay. What fantasy players need to be aware of here is, you know who finished in front of him? Kenny Gainwell. Kenny Gainwell is the second highest fantasy point scorer from last year on this team, and that's from Pittsburgh. That's mostly from the dump offs from Aaron Rodgers and his 73 catches last year. But Kenny Gainwell is now a Buccaneer, and he only had 114 carries last year, 537 yards, average 4.7 yards a clip in Pittsburgh, 73 grabs, almost 500 receiving yards. Projections this year, they got him, much less across the board, only 100 carries, 483 yards, 50 grabs, 340 yards. So,
all right, so I see.
Go ahead.
So what I see this Kenny Gainwell at is As like you just said, 73 dump downs for Aaron Rodgers. They just got rid of our boy and Rashad White. They shipped
Yeah.
him over to the Commanders, which means that Kenneth Gainwell is absolutely going to be their
Third down.
PPR back. He's
Third
going to be
down.
their passing back.
Yeah.
And my boy Bucky's going to get all the runs, all the carries, and that's just how I see it. Is he getting another 73 catches? Hell no. That ain't happening again.
No, Aaron Rodgers isn't there to drop him off
Get rid of 30
constantly.
points.
I was watching some of those Pittsburgh games, and it was like their best offense half the time was just literally dumping it off to Kenny Gainwell.
It was their only offense. Get 4 or 5 yards, let them run.
Especially it was especially when the receiver DK was suspended for those games. That was like all they could do. It was so pathetic.
It was pathetic.
Yeah.
That was pathetic. And we saw that in the playoffs.
Okay, so we think Kenny Gainwell will be the receiving third down guy primarily. And however this committee shakes out, but we do think he'll be involved. And honestly, deeper leagues, PPR, I mean, there may be some value to Kenny G. Otherwise, Bucky Irving, you really like for a bounce, I think is a upside bounce candidate for where he gets drafted. And then they also have the other guy, Sean Tucker.
Yep, not worried about him.
They're basically leaving him for dead in fantasy, but I do think he'll be a little more involved in the offense, a little more than what they're predicting here. They only got him for 35 carries, 146 yards. I mean, if anything even happens to Bucky, I think that'll at least be double,
Sure.
similar to last year. But
Sure.
I still think he'll be more involved in the offense, but he doesn't have the upside that Bucky has, right? And it's Bucky's show.
He's going to show his flash early on, and we're not going to even have to talk about this anymore.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you're that confident, we'll get to the offense line here shortly. If you're that confident in them and the player's healthy and he stays healthy, that's probably a higher probability that he is the workhorse and outperforms his ADP by a little bit even, if not a lot of bit.
How about it? Tight ends.
We got Cade Otton. Last year, where did he finish, Adam?
22.
And he's being projected at tight end 30 right now.
That is correct.
And it's a difference in their projection in 12 less points than last year. I mean, this is a guy who's been able to come in and provide a little bit of value. He only had one touchdown last year, so obviously he's not going to get the points, but he's involved in the offense.
He is more your older school tight end. He's durable as heck. He can pass block, or he can run block well. He can do whatever you need him to do. He's on the field a crap ton. In terms of snaps over the last 4 years, he ranks first in snaps, 3,530, and second in routes ran. It just hasn't translated to a lot of production, really, because he's just not that fast, not that athletic. I mean, there is people on that team.
Without the big body Mike Evans, I mean, there's a chance you could get some touchdown upside from this guy this year. But
no, let me actually educate you on that.
He'll be available in most leagues. He could be just a guy you like the matchup, and he's a bye week fill-in in a deeper format is probably where I would see it.
In the 63 games he's played in the NFL, he has 19 end zone targets and 11 touchdowns. So every third game, he's getting one red zone target, and every sixth game, he's getting a touchdown. That ain't enough touchdown looks for me.
Yeah, I mean, that's not great. But that's also all those games played with Mike Evans. Without Mike Evans, maybe he gets a little more red zone looks, is my thought.
Okay.
I mean, he'll be available, right? Yeah, I mean, if you want a guy on a bye week, you need a bye week tight end. I mean, he's somebody that we could bring up. We could throw him into the mix.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Okay, and then what do we got? We talked
offensive
about
line time.
Offensive line, you're up. Go ahead.
It is, as I said, Mike Clay's got him ranked 6th last year.
That's high. That's pretty high.
Very high. And last year they were not good because of all the injuries they had. And like I said, they had 9 different offensive line combinations, which might have led the league. Just disgusting. But they got a new offensive coordinator, which I know you get into it, Zach Robinson. He is definitely aiming to improve the ground game. This offensive line had some injuries with some big boys. It's anchored by Tristan Wirfs, left tackle, and Luke Gadik, right tackle. Oh, I butchered that for sure. Sorry, man. And then they added some rookie depth in Billy Schroth, and their center Graham Barton's also phenomenal. They have a good offensive line, but last year it was not healthy, and we saw the effect of that in 3.4 yards per carry and a terrible passing attack. If this line stays healthy, they are going to be top 10, and Bucky Irving is going to be a top 12 running back. You heard it first.
Yeah, Liam Cohen also departed there last year, went to Jacksonville. Is it no surprise that Jacksonville did pretty well and the
Is
Buccaneers did not?
the coaching impacts are so real in this game.
How much of it is that? How much it was this offensive line this year for this team? I think that's the debate that I have in my mind. Todd Bowles will remain in charge as the head coach, but they did fire 5 assistants. And the big one is Zach Robinson as a new offensive coordinator. And Zach Robinson, formerly Atlanta Falcons OC. He is some fun stuff here, of course, off the Sean McVay coaching tree, as everybody on the news broadcast shows love to point out that coaching tree.
Yep.
He spent 2019 to 2023 with the LA Rams, from rising from assistant quarterback coach to pass game coordinator under Sean McVay. He was on the staff when the Rams won the Super Bowl. So our man's got a ring. Our man's got a ring. Yeah, yeah.
More than we got.
He helped development of rookie Puka Nacua to a historic 1,486-yard rookie season. And he has a prior relationship with our man Baker. So you're saying the man can bake. The 48-hour miracle. Robinson was the Rams quarterbacks coach in 2022, and Baker Mayfield was claimed off waivers. Robinson famously prepared Mayfield in just 48 hours to lead a 98-yard game-winning drive against the Raiders. United in Tampa. Their strong chemistry was a major factor in this hiring. So if there's anything to give a little bit of offensive boost or juice or whatever you want to call it to Baker, it could be that.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah. All right. Some fun stuff for you folks out there. And you let us know what you think. Are we getting a bounce from Baker? Or are you going to leave him for dead? And Bucky Irving, is he a top 20 running back? Is he a top 12 running back 2026 season? Folks, let us know. Anything else, Adam?
It's been a day.
All right. Thanks for tuning in the Fantasy Football Channel. We'll catch you guys in the next one.